What's it like right now with the Israelis bombing Tehran?
متاسفانه دیروز ناچار شدم تهران رو ترک کنم.
I have left Tehran after the Israeli attacks. I was forced to leave the town.
Oh, right. So where are you speaking to me from?
من شمال ایران هستم. توی یک شهر دیگه ای هستم.
I am in the north of Iran now, in another city, but I witnessed what happened in Tehran myself.
Well, tell me what it was like.
تهران به نظر من هولناکترین.
I witnessed horrendous attacks. They are hitting infrastructure, a lot of civilian deaths, the terrifying noise of drones buzzing overhead. It was one of the worst experiences and terrifying experiences we had. I want to describe one of my friends who just the day before yesterday, when they hit an oil depot in Tehran called Shahran and everything was set ablaze, they had to just leave their homes with the clothes that they had. And that is really a tragedy.
So when did you decide to flee?
من 4 روز توی تهران بودم. امروز 5مین روزه.
I was in Tehran for 4 days. I left on the 5th day yesterday. But my heart is in Tehran still, and I wish to return.
We heard that there were long queues of people trying to get out of Tehran. Was it difficult for you to leave?
باید بهتون بگم که من مسیر 2 ساعت و نیمه رو.
A 2-hour journey took us 12 hours.
Good grief. And Narges, can I ask, just how you are? Because you were only let out of prison in December last year, and you've been very unwell. Just tell me how you are doing, especially with all this stress.
خب من 2 تا توده سرطان 2 تا توده.
So I had 2 malignant cancer tumors. One was in my breast and one was in my leg. We managed to operate the tumor on the leg, but when we were about to operate on my breasts, all these events happened, and so it's we don't know when we can have an operation next.
I'm very sorry to hear that. You've also, though, found time, despite all the stresses and demands on you, you found time to write this short piece that has been published in the French newspaper Le Monde, calling for both an end to the Israeli military action, but also an end to uranium enrichment by the Iranian government. Tell me why you made that call.
ببینید من 10 سال از عمرم رو توی زندان‌های جمهوری اسلامی.
I spent 10 years of my life in prison for simply defending human rights and defending peace. So now that we are amidst a full-fledged war between Israel and the Islamic Republic of Iran, I feel that we are in another chapter of the war between the Islamic Republic of Iran and the people of Iran. So as an Iranian who has always supported human rights and who has always supported peace, I feel like I am at a very huge crossroads today, crossroad between war and peace. I deeply believe that democracy, human rights, and freedom cannot come through violence and war. So as such, as a supporter of democracy, I have to demand that Israel stops this war, that the Islamic Republic of Iran and Israel reach a ceasefire, stop this war, and I condemn this war in the strongest terms.
You've called it, Narges, a dire threat to the very foundation of human civilization. Why are you putting it in such strong language?
برای اینکه خاورمیانه غرق آتش و جنگ و خشونت شده.
So Middle East is right now in fire and blood. Where in the Middle East can you see any signs of a hope for peace? It's politicians like Ali Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, and Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, who are bringing about these events, this violence, because they are promising that they can show people a better future through war and terror, and that's not possible. So imagine this. We have a misogynist theocracy in Iran with the supreme leader Ali Khamenei on the top, who took us to hell whilst promising heavens. And at the same time, Netanyahu is also taking us to hell while promising us freedom and democracy.
Narges, you called specifically for the Iranian government to stop uranium enrichment. Now, a lot of Iranians, I imagine, obviously you know much better than me, but a lot of Iranians, I imagine, would say it's up to us what we do in terms of uranium enrichment. The government says this is just for the purposes of power, of providing another energy source. Why should we stop uranium enrichment because Israel says you should or the United States says you should?
شما باید در وهله اول
You have to consider that our circumstances are that we are governed by a dictatorship, by a theocratic dictatorship that does not respect the will of the people. And I've always said that this government is a lying, deceptive government. I have said many times that this government is inept and it's unreformable. Therefore, despite what the regime says, the people of Iran have not benefited from uranium enrichment whatsoever. They have not been able to provide us with a new source of energy. We have hours and hours of electricity blackouts a day. They said that they need enrichment to carry out research in the field of medicine and healthcare, but this never happened. Therefore, the Iranian nuclear program has had no benefits for the Iranian people. And on the contrary, it's become a source of a lot of international hostility. Therefore, I must say that the Iranian nuclear program carried out by the regime is not a project of the people, it's a project of the government, which has practically taken people hostage.
Do you fear that if there is a chaotic collapse to this government as a result of this war, that actually what may come out may not be democracy, as you have called for, but actually could be more conflict because there could be perhaps a civil war, and perhaps even that people who are even more hardline could take over?
چیزی که یقین دارم اینه که جنگ دموکراسی
What I do know and I'm certain of is that war will not bring about democracy, human rights, and freedom. This is what I'm sure about.
You've spoken in extremely critical terms about the leadership of Iran. Narges, you've always spoken fearlessly, but I just wonder, are you at all worried for yourself that speaking publicly in such critical terms might possibly mean that you go back to prison?
امکانش وجود داره.
It's possible, but I'm not worried.
Why are you not worried?
این مبارزه‌ای هست که بالاخره ما مردم اراده کردیم، هزینه زیادی براش دادیم.
This is a struggle that we have willed to carry on. This is a struggle that we have paid a high price for, and we have to take it to its end.